start
I got the
recording.
keyboard.
There you go. Hopefully it actually starts recording. Do you guys see an ad?
Oh, I see our faces and an ad for a dope-looking sword and board game.
Oh yeah?
What is this?
Sword and board.
Is this Ubisoft's version of Chivalry? There's freaking zombies and vampires. Oh God, he's got eyeballs.
Oh,
I don't know what that
Got
is.
eyeballs.
Oh, it's like
Interesting.
demented Pokemon. Oh, it's The Witcher Wild Hunt.
oh, that
Expansion
makes
pack.
sense.
There you go.
That makes sense. All right, I'm just.
Was my description pretty apt?
I mean, relatively, yeah. That's pretty much what you'd expect from The Witcher.
Demented Pokemon.
Well, for everyone who's joining us or will be joining us on the VOD, hello and welcome to the Summit Podcast for June 4th, 2016. Completely
That is
unprofessional of
insane.
me to drink water while I'm doing the intro, but hello and welcome. For those of you who don't know, my name is Winterbear. Well, my name is Will, but I am Winterbear, and I will be your host today. Well, I guess I'll be saying the topics and shit. Then our other hosts, we have
He's our
Yeti Hype,
switchboard.
and we have PlaycrastiNation,
Oh.
specifically Josh, from the leader of PlaycrastiNation. So why don't you guys go ahead and...
No, I'm actually a country now.
Oh, you are? Yeah? It's like Christian Harloff now being a planet. I don't know if you guys...
Yeah, I got my status legally changed.
Nice. Yeah. That's solid. That's what you need.
You can do that.
Yeah, you can, which is weird. You shouldn't be able to do
Yeah.
that. But,
I should become a star and then someone can buy me and own me legally.
I don't know if you can...
'Cause I don't think you can do it with a human. I'm pretty sure that's called slavery, but I'm not totally sure. But if I'm a star, then the rules of engagement are changed. Don't actually know how any of this works. I'm very tired.
Yeah, that's reasonable. So, you can follow me at youtube.com/winterbeargames. Same on Twitch. What about you guys? Where are you guys at?
Yeti.
Right.
Where
Yep.
have you go?
I'm youtube.com/yeah. I keep saying Twitch, like, oh, I don't use it. I think that's not the greatest marketing strategy, so I'm gonna stop saying that.
Yeah.
Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/YetiHype. I streamed there yesterday, and it was
There
good.
you go.
So there you go, and Twitter and YouTube as well. It's all the same, just YetiHype.
Nice. Josh?
I'm over at youtube.com/PlaycrastiNation. I'm usually a bit more coherent than I am currently,
That's not
and
true.
I make a lot of, well, that's absolutely not true. I'm the same all the time. I make not good videos, but I make videos nonetheless, and you should check them out.
All right. So
That's good marketing. As a marketing major, that's how you want to promote your brand, right?
Yeah, that is exactly how you want to.
It's not
promote your
complete trash.
brand. What you do is you talk trash about yourself, and then all of a sudden people will come to your defense, like from yourself. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's like compliment fishing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and I highly recommend you don't do it because it's awful, but also well done. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about quite a few things, so we should actually probably get into it as much as we can. I made the mistake of putting Twitch on the same page as the docket, so I can't monitor the chat while that's going on. I'm actually going to pull the chat and put it beside Josh's face. All right. So,
Hello.
The podcast itself is every week at this time. So if you're here, good job. If not, join us on twitch.tv/Summit Podcast on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and whatever the conversions are to the other times, because I'm tired and can't do them right now. Yeah.
47 degrees Celsius time.
Pardon?
47 degrees Celsius time.
Yeah,
is the conversion.
that's exactly what it is. So, yeah. No,
That'd
but
be really hot, actually.
that would be
You'd be
way
dead.
too. That would be way too warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only like I think here I can actually
Like
look.
Tatooine.
I think it's actually 27 here today, which is just absurd. Like it's 17 right now, but it's supposed to go up to 27 today, and it's like, I don't think I'll be going outside. I think I'll be staying in here with the fans on, and it'll be much much better for me. Yeah, but so other than
That's
that,
a
we should
lion
actually
thumber.
probably hop into the actual topics. We were going to discuss something today, which is, I mean, I don't know, how do we want to describe this before we go into it? Josh, why don't you take the lead on the description, and I'll figure out a way to put it on the Twitch.
On the for as far as discussion goes,
Yes.
the thing we were talking about before. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm just mad. Still, it's been like a week and a half since they announced this, but I'm still peeved off about it. So for those of you guys who are either just superhero, comic book, Marvel, or if you just like the movies, whatever, if you're fans of that nerdy stuff, then you'll know that recently Marvel came out and one of their alternate writers, not a main writer for the Captain America storyline, but an alternate writer came out and basically revealed that Captain America, this perfect, awesome superhero who's my favorite and has been awesome his entire existence, is actually a double agent that's been secretly pledging his allegiance to Hydra, which is an evil Nazi organization from when he first, long story. Basically, he's been a bad guy this whole time, and everything that we've known of him is baloney. People got really mad. They went to Marvel and started protesting because technically he was an alternate writer, so they're like, well, maybe it's not, real. But Marvel came out and pretty much confirmed that it is, in fact, canon for his storyline. So that's something I and a lot of people are upset about because it doesn't really make a lot of sense for his storyline. But one thing we kind of wanted to dig into today and talk about a little bit is we see this kind of happen in video games a lot as well, either on two different fronts, kind of. When you have video game lore that doesn't match up with canon in whether that's a movie or book or whatever established universe is already out there. You also have examples where you have characters in video games that have basically major plot twists that they throw in like that, kind of similar to this Captain America thing. And so those are two different things we kind of want to delve into today. Talk about some of our favorite and least favorite examples of those.
That was a very good description. You were much more coherent with that than you were with promoting your channel. Well
I
done.
woke up.
Yeah, well done.
I'm peeved off.
Yeah, that's fair. When you're angry, you're far more coherent. It's great.
And now back to this.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we're after. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just changed the current topic to Captain America is a Nazi. So, spoilers, I guess, for for anyone who wasn't
Pretty
paying
much
any
facts.
attention. But yeah. Like, I mean, for me, as far as like dealing with the canon side of things, like, I mean, I've talked about Star Wars a fair bit, but I'm gonna do it again because, I mean, let's just take for completely ignoring the expanded universe. Games that have come out since the new canon for Star Wars include the new Battlefront from, or like the last Battlefront from EA. Emperor Palpatine was nowhere near Endor, shooting lightning out of his fingers, killing a bunch of, killing a bunch of wickets. Yeah, I just called all Ewoks wickets because I'm awful. But no, like there was at no point was Emperor Palpatine on the battlefield killing people with his lightning. That's not canon. He worked from the shadows, but in Battlefront you can do that. So, like, I mean, canon there, like, it's a little bit fluid with the Star Wars games because they're not doing any story-based stuff. But once they do story-based stuff, it would be, I don't know, like, I think if they do story stuff, there's inevitably going to be issues like this where canon no longer makes a lot of sense for a character. But Disney has actually been very good about running their universe within the Star Wars side of things. But with Marvel, they don't control the comics, right? Like, they own the company, but they don't control the comic writers for Marvel because that's a different division. Like, it's still owned by Disney, but they have given them complete control. So, like, it's a very different thing, but there's inevitably going to be similar things that happen, and it's because people will grow attachments to characters, right? And they'll grow these attachments to these characters based on what they've seen in the movies or what they've seen in the comic books, even for Star Wars, or like even in some of the video games. You'll see these attachments that you grow to have for these characters, and then if the writers decide to sweep that from under your feet, it's their story. They can do that, right? Like, that's, sorry, not to be a dick about it, but it's their choice if they want to go and, say, oh yeah, by the way, Captain America's a Nazi now. Like, it's their story. They can do that. Is it absolutely rude? Yes. Yes, it is. They are being rude gusses. Yeah. But, like, I mean, the same thing will be for the Star Wars universe. I will be angry if they change canon on some characters. But they will. And it's their story. It's their right to.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of fans are going to have a lot of problems with some of the things that will happen, even just in the comic books, with how characters have been changed. Like, if people, especially if, like, you were fans of the old expanded universe, because just, like, a bunch of characters were changed. And, like, the problem is the expanded universe is no longer canon. So it's like the people who grew these huge attachments to, like, Grand Admiral Thrawn or, like, Revan, for instance, like we talked about with KOTOR, those stories are going to be changed. And so they're not really canon being changed, but they're stories that people have these deep attachments to that are going to be changed. And that's terrifying and horrible and also wonderful at the same time, because they're going to pull in some of these characters, and we're still going to get some of the character traits, but just some things are going to be different, I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of an issue that just beyond the scope of video games. I know The Walking Dead has had a lot of issues with that. As a show that's based off a comic book series, that has changed up a lot of things as they've seen fit. Because you can't, it's a tough dynamic. It's kind of a catch-22 because you can't make a TV show that just follows the comic book, detail for detail. Otherwise, everything will be predicted, everything will be spoiled before you can write it. You can do that just to give people an on-screen adaptation. But for people who are not familiar with the comics, basically the whole thing is spoiled for them. Or it can be by people who already know what's going to happen. So it's good to throw in twists every now and again, but then when you change, I mean, they've done things where they've killed off characters in season 2 that were supposed to be there until season 5. And then you change the complete, it's, same universe, but not canon technically. So, and then it gets really confusing, and then it gets obnoxious.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. What I want to say about it is, like, there are moments in video games where I feel like these incredible attachments to characters, and, like, if they were to be swept out from under me as, like, well, a Nazi, for instance, I'd be a little bit upset. I don't know. I mean, Yeti, what's your take?
For me, it just comes down to, like, the community and what the film / book / whatever it actually is. Because I know, so from my experience, I don't know if you guys have seen World War Z.
Yeah,
I've not seen it, but I've heard.
Right.
I'm familiar.
Well, the film for that and the book are, like, two different things completely. And I remember the author was, like, complaining about how, no, he wasn't complaining, but he was like, oh, it doesn't really matter what sort of happens with this, because these aren't my characters. These have been taken, and this is, like, different people doing different things. So I think in that respect, it doesn't really matter as much. But I know when it comes down to something like the Marvel universe, when you've got the same characters and they're being changed, I think that's where you've got to be careful. So it depends what you're doing with it. World War Z, I think at a push could work because it was different characters. But I'm not a huge Marvel person. I've not seen, like, any of them, the Marvel films at all. But I know that, I don't know, I can see why people are annoyed, and I'm like standing back, not getting involved. But I probably would be on the side of the people who are annoyed, to be fair.
Yeah. No, my biggest issue is just, like, as far as the plot twist goes, this is kind of what you want. Nobody was expecting this. It blew everybody away. However, it has to be a plot twist that makes sense. And maybe they're going to find a way to tie everything together, and it'll be amazing. My biggest issue with it right now is that they have to take everything he's done over the past blah, 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 blah issues that has been actively against what Hydra would have stood for, and say this is how he was actually fighting for them secretly. And I don't know how they are going to do that with how many good deeds this guy has done. So if they can do it, if they can pull it off, probably one of the greatest plot twists of all time. If they can do it successfully, I don't think they can. There's no way. There's too many loose ends.
Some things are going to become non-canon. Like that's the only way they can do it, and that's a frustrating thing too, because it's like, I mean that like I can again, Star Wars is more my thing than Marvel, although I am fairly familiar with Marvel as well. It like the problem when Disney took over for Star Wars was that they decanonized the entire expanded universe, which was like completely fair because the expanded universe, there was a bunch of stuff that you just like was not good. It was awful. It was like terrible writing, or like it was like so forcefully tried to be Star Wars, you know? But like I don't know, the introduction of the new canon upset a lot of people because you removed things like Revan and Grand Admiral Thrawn. And Thrawn is one of like the most cutthroat characters in the entire expanded universe, and he's not a Force user, and like he's just an interesting character. And I really want them to bring him back, and I think they might be bringing him back from like specifically in Star Wars Rebels, which is like, it's a kids TV show, but I love it. It's great. It's like, it's one of my favorite shows, which I know is a little sad that it's a kids TV show. That's one of my favorite shows, but whatever. So if they bring him back there, like that's great, and it's great fan service, but at the same time, like they removed a ton of canon before, like when they reintroduced this new canon, and it's like that is extremely upsetting at first, but then you kind of see the universe as a little bit more coherent after that, and so it can be a good thing. But then you have issues with like shows like Game of Thrones, and I'm not gonna put any spoilers out there for people who watch the show, but like the books are vastly different from how the show is right now. Like, I mean, there are characters who are dead on the show that are still alive in the books and like have a full arc going in the books, and like there's a bunch of different things that are going on that I really like. I don't want to do any spoilers, so I'm trying to dance around my words a little carefully here, but basically like just there's people and things happening that are not happening in the books anymore, or are potentially going to be happening in the books later. Like, we actually don't know if we're getting spoilers already from the Game of Thrones TV show for the books. I would assume that we're getting some, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, but then like at that point, do you just say, okay, well, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is never going to have this Captain America problem, so are we good? For a lot of people, like a lot of people will just watch the movies, and so for a lot of people, he will never be a Nazi, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's like the highest grossing franchise of all time now, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
well,
it's,
is it?
It's a big one.
It's definitely.
I think
up
they
there.
might be the most.
I think so.
It definitely is up there. If
Are we
it's
talking
they
about
have, like,
just
a bunch
within
of films?
movies?
either way, like it's one of the most
just
popular franchises in the world at the moment, which is great for them. I actually have kind of been falling off the Marvel train a little bit lately. Like I still really enjoy their movies, but like I just haven't really, I don't know.
Number one is actually Pixar Disney with 4.
If they're calling that a
total gross domestic.
If they're calling that a universe, then okay, fair enough. I mean, they are fully
They're calling
interconnected,
that.
so like I can appreciate it, but
only barely. They have 4.016 billion, and right behind them is Marvel with 3.9 billion. So
I mean, that's a big gap. Well, I know
And that-
it looks
and those
small,
are-
but that's a big gap.
it's
Yeah.
$100 million, but
Yeah,
it's
play money.
And then
at
behind
that
them
point.
is Star Wars with 3.1 billion.
Yeah, but
Which
I mean,
for how many less movies are in the Star Wars universe than there are in
yeah,
Marvel and Disney Pixar, That's pretty good for Star
Yeah.
Wars.
I mean, the issue I have with Disney and Pixar being on there is that the movies do not interconnect beyond like, hey, here's an Easter egg for this person's existence in the same universe. So like, I get it. They're completely separate stories, and that's fine. But like, is that really a movie universe then? I mean, yeah, it is. But
That's true. There is an asterisk below that says if you qualify this as a franchise rather than a brand question mark.
Yeah, I would argue that it's more of a
It's a good
brand
point.
until they actually like
Yeah, I
explicitly
think so too.
interconnect the worlds.
Link all the universes
Yeah,
together.
until they actually link the movies, I don't think that we can really call that.
Or until Incredibles 2 comes out, and then I'll just be so excited that I don't care.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, a lot of people are going to be excited for The Incredibles too.
Oh, yeah.
SideQuest says spoilers.
That's
There's a
childhood.
dragon for Game of Thrones. There's actually.
I tried to touch
3.
spoilers. There's boobs, but apparently I'm not signed into my Twitch that I never use, so I can't comment. But I was going to say spoilers. There's boobs.
What are you talking? You mean
'Cause
the
they're on.
Twitch that you most certainly use and stream on regularly, so that people can check you out there, right? That's what you mean.
Once in April, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Nice.
regularly.
Nice.
I'm hoping I'm doing about every April, so that's pretty regular.
That is regularly. Let's not joke around. That
Technically,
is
by
legitimately a
definition.
regular schedule. Once
Yeah.
every April.
It's a set schedule. It's streaming
Yeah.
once a year.
It's like Easter.
April 14th every year.
It's,
Be there.
It's like Easter. Comes once a year. It's very regular. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Say it was
that's
consistent.
technically
Oh
more
no,
like
it is
Christmas, I
consistent
guess.
if I do it all the time.
Yeah. There you go. So go ahead and check them out there.
Twitch.tv/PlaycrastiNation.
There you go.
Hopefully I can remember the password next April.
Yeah. Write it down.
It's too late. It's already gone.
Yep.
I want to know what other movies are on this top grossing list. You could. You guys want to go through the movies or like not the movies, but the franchises and on these top grossing lists and talk
Sure.
about them?
Yeah.
We don't do a lot of movie talk.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we had Disney Pixar enough? What's your guys' favorite Disney Pixar movie?
Ooh. I mean,
I suck. I don't watch a lot of Disney Pixar.
Up probably. I mean,
Oh,
Toy
it's still
Story.
good.
Toy
That's
Story.
on this list.
Honestly, Toy Story.
OG Toy Story.
Yeah, the Toy Story 1. Yeah.
What about you, Yeti?
Was that Toy Story 1? That came out in 99, right? Or
I think
98,
so.
something like that. So it came out
95.
like a little bit before I was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, or a little bit after I was born, something like that. So I sort of grew up on that one when I was like 3
Yeah.
and 4. So that's a big one for me for sure.
Yeah.
And Finding Nemo as well.
Finding Nemo's pretty dope. I once watched that movie in in 5th grade when I had to get braces. Before I did so, they were like, "We're going to take out all your baby teeth to make sure you don't have to worry about putting a brace on them." And then they fall out, and then they're stuck on the brace, and it's like that's gross.
And they're just
So we're just going to remove them all. So I got 8 teeth pulled in one day, and obviously they had to like laughing gas me up pretty hard to be able to do that. And they put on Finding Nemo, and then afterwards they told me they like pulled my mom aside and were like, "You need to make sure your kid's all right." He was laughing through the entire movie, even the part where like the mom dies and like all the eggs get eaten. I was apparently like cracking up. So I'm a serial killer apparently. But Finding Nemo is real good. I think my favorite is still Incredibles. I love The Incredibles so much, and I'm so pumped for Incredibles 2.
That's completely fair. It was a really good movie. I think, like, for me, like, it's tough to actually say, like, which movie from the Disney Pixar universe I actually like the most, because there's so many that are actually, like, really good. I mean,
Yeah.
yesterday I was at, it's like a board game bar in Vancouver called the Stormcrow. And it's an okay place. But they were playing Short Circuit, which is a 1986 movie on one of their TVs. And I've seen this movie probably 2 or 3 times, but I had completely forgotten about it. Cause like I was born in 91. And so like, it was around for a little bit before I was, but it was still on my radar. And, yeah, I did not realize that Wall-E straight up stole their character design from Short Circuit, but they definitely did.
Oh, really? I've never heard of it.
You should check it
Bugs
out.
Life is on here. Side quest.
Bugs Life is a good movie.
Bugs Life from 1998. It is a dope movie. I haven't seen that in such. I probably saw it. I think I saw it like when it came out, and I haven't seen it since.
Yeah, I think that's me as well.
But it's real good.
I wouldn't mind watching that again at some point. It's a good movie.
It is. No, look at all the movies on this list. They're real good. But you're right. I wouldn't really consider it a franchise. I don't think.
Yeah.
But they're good movies. They make good movies.
They do. I mean, like, it's nice because they make movies that are like for kids, but also definitely for adults, which is nice.
I unashamedly love kids movies. I would probably go see a kids movie like 90% of the time rather than seeing an adult movie, except for maybe like a Star Wars or like a Marvel movie.
Both
but
of those could.
If you were like, hey, you want to go see?
Like, I
True.
mean, they could both.
They were
be
more
considered
broad
kids
audience.
movies. Yeah, they're definitely.
But if someone was like,
movies,
would you like to go see? Would you like to go see the new Pixar movie, or would you rather go see? We had this choice. We got to choose between like Zootopia and some dumb adult movie film that came out, and I was like, nope, Zootopia. I'm going to Zootopia. It was a good movie.
What did you think of Zootopia?
I liked it a lot. There was like clearly a lot of societal commentary in there, which I'm not usually a fan of. I don't like when, especially on like if it's like an adult movie, that's fine. But for kids platforms, I feel like it's a little not indoctrinating, but when you're like, when you're like making commentary about society, like, and they're making like racial and sexist commentaries about society, basically in like a kids movie about animals, and so I'm like, maybe not the right place, and so usually that bugs me, but it was a good movie in general, so I liked it.
I'd say it's a solid like B+.
But have you seen it?
Like,
yeah, that's probably what I'd give it. It wasn't like I didn't watch it 7 times, but I mean, I'm definitely money well spent.
Yeah, I mean,
I still need to see 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Zootopia has a 98%.
98%, yeah.
Apparently, they like it a little bit more than I do, but no, it's a good movie.
That's high.
That's really high.
That's absurdly high for a
The Jungle Book also has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is also a great movie.
I mean, as far as like sticking true to the source material, not so much, but like in terms of being a good movie and like really well done, it was really well done. So, like, I don't know, like I would argue that The Jungle Book was a better movie than Zootopia was. Like, Zootopia for me was like a little bit, like, they spoiled a lot of it in the trailers. Like, a lot of the good bits were in the trailers.
That's true.
And I was just kind of
like,
okay, the sloth made me smile.
All of the good laugh. The sloth is hilarious.
Yeah, the DMV was the best part of that movie, and they spoiled that.
It's like one of the funniest scenes.
I
know that they like got rid of it. I mean, I guess they have to draw, and so people are like, "Oh, that's funny. I'll go see it." But then that's the funniest part of the whole movie, so you lose that.
Yeah.
But whatever gets people to watch their movies, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I never remember anything from trailers anyway, so it's something that doesn't really affect me too much. But
you have short-term memory loss for trailers? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Nice.
Have either of you two seen Inside Out yet? Because I really need to see that. I've heard it's very good.
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet.
You've seen it? Is it good?
I haven't seen it yet. But...
yeah, it's good. It's worth a watch, I think. I enjoyed it, yeah. Another 98%.
Like number one movie of all time. It gets 98% as well?
It does, yeah. Jungle Book is 95.
I feel like
Pixar are killing it.
There's probably like a very like large margin that they're calling 98%. And I feel like it's probably not exact. And then it's probably from like 97 or like maybe even like 95 to 100. They're just like, well, variance 98. You know? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
No 100% movies.
Yeah. I mean, there are, so like it's not, but like, I don't know. I don't know. Rotten Tomatoes is a weird site, but what other movies have you guys seen?
But no,
recently?
that's good.
I watched Circle last night on Netflix. I will honestly say Circle. It's called.
I've
and
never heard of it.
it's maybe the worst film I've ever seen. I think it's because it contradicts itself like quite regularly, and it keeps trying to force characters, because it's essentially what it is there's a bunch of people have been abducted by aliens, and then they get put in this room in a circle on these like platforms, and they're not allowed to move, and there's this orb thing in the middle of the room, and they have to like vote on who gets shot one by one, and then the last person alive wins. But they keep like going through different scenes, like setting up a character, and you'll be halfway through the movie and there's someone who hasn't spoke yet at all, and all of a sudden it's trying to give them like their life story, but it's not even subtle about it. Someone will go, "Oh, what's your story?" and then they'll just sit there and start talking about like, "Oh, I've got a family and 2 kids and a dog and all that," and then 2 minutes later they're dead, and then no one ever talks about them again. And I don't know, it contradicts itself hugely at the end as well, because there gets to this guy who's like in the last 10, and then one of the dudes goes, "Oh, he's never voted." That's like his thing, because he's never spoken, he's never voted, so that's how he survived till the end. But previously in the film, they've tried doing ties, and they've tried not voting at all to trick the system, and then it gets to the end, and then there's this guy who's apparently not been voting this whole time, but then it completely goes back on everything that's happened in the whole film up to that point. So it's a little all over the place. I don't know. I sort of enjoyed it a little bit, but it was also like really shit.
There's
And then it gets really deep at the end.
There's a certain quality to it being a terrible movie when you watch like any movie that's awful. There's a certain amount of I'm enjoying this, but I'm mostly making fun of it. But also I'm enjoying this.
There's 2 categories. There's movies that are so bad they're good, and then there's movies that are just movies that are just awful, which I would consider like, if you guys saw the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie, that movie is just terrible, and it's also a terrible adaptation of the actual TV series. But then movies that are just bad to be bad, I guess. Have you guys ever seen Rubber?
No.
It is a film about a sentient tire that has telekinetic powers and rolls around and blows things up. And it's literally
I'm in.
an hour and a half, I think, 90-ish minutes of a tire rolling, coming up to random things, first starting with like a cricket or something, then a bird, then like a small fire hydrant, boom, go, and it's an hour and a half of that. With like random little interjected storylines in between. You should look it up. It's
the line on IMDb. A homicidal car tire discovering a homicidal car tire discovering it has destructive psionic power sets its sight on a desert town. Once a mysterious woman becomes its obsession. A mysterious woman becomes its obsession. There you go.
It's a tire.
It just wants to be loved.
It's a tire of all the things. I mean, you have to let it be able to roll, but
they made that choice so early on to make this movie bad. Like you have to think.
Well, the funny thing is, it like, if you didn't read the IMDb description beforehand, it catches you, which I didn't. There were just some people on my floor in college watching it, so I just sat down and watched with them. And it took me out of nowhere. I'm like, why are you guys watching a movie about a tire? And the first thing I saw it roll up to was the bird. And it rolls up to the bird, and it just like starts like shaking really bad. I'm like, what the heck is happening? And then the bird just explodes and like blood everywhere. And I'm like, what am I watching? Great movie. Check it out.
Highly recommended.
I'm sold on it from the tagline at the top. Are you tired of the expected?
Oh.
I am. I'm tired of the expected.
Oh God, that's so good.
I need more of this in life.
See, but then there's like
the best part is it's like
go ahead.
It's like the whole movie is like they're watching. It's weird. It makes literally no sense. The opening scene is the tire rolling around, like rolling down a street like this and just running over like chairs and the chairs falling apart. But then the whole thing is set up as if it's like a studio audience watching the film being made about the tire. And so there's like actors and directors there that are like filming the tire as if that's the movie that you're watching being made. And there's like a studio audience. But then at random points, the tire will just like come into the studio audience and then blow up the studio audience. And you're like, too many different stories happening. It's good.
That's
quality
fantastic.
film.
I look forward to watching this.
Awful film.
Yeah.
You will enjoy it, I promise.
I don't doubt that. I think like there's something to be said for like a group just deciding to make a movie terrible early on. Like, because at that point they don't take themselves seriously and they can make it funny as hell. Like SideQuest mentioned The Room, and that's very much.
I have not seen The Room.
I won't do any spoilers because you need to enjoy that for the first time, just
Okay,
as it is. Just
straight out.
Yep, just enjoy it, and yep,
I'm scared.
yep. Like I don't know. There's a lot of like comedy movies that I really like that are a little bit dumb. Like I mean, even okay, this is going to be something that's a little bit controversial, but Monty Python, any of them, they're a little bit
Don't
dumb,
say it.
but they're dumb
Yeah.
because that's their comedy style. But they're not like Dumb and Dumber dumb. They're like purposefully playing the fool, you know? And so like
Yeah, it's not a Will Ferrell dumb.
yeah. It's very much like well, I mean like you know, just for example, the Holy Grail, the quest for the Holy Grail. There is this extremely long name for a wizard, and then he says, "But you can call me Tim," right? And it's like, it's great, it's fantastic. It's like
Out of nowhere.
yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. I don't know. I like Monty Python a lot, and it's like it's the kind of comedy where it's like it's unexpected, and
Yes.
that's nice. I like that. I like when comedy comes like just completely from left field, because it's like that's when it's unexpected. That's what's good in life, you know. And
No, I love Monty Python's like some of my favorite movies of all time.
yeah, they're up there for me. I still haven't seen The Life of Brian, which I'm kicking myself for, because like that's like I really should. It's the only Monty
Yeah.
Python.
I haven't seen them either.
It's the only Monty Python thing that I haven't seen. I have seen every single sketch they've done. I've seen every single movie they've done except for The Life of Brian. I'm just like, oh, I should really do that at some point. I don't know. Yeah, but like, I would love to, like, if the Monty Python crew were like, if everyone was still around, and you know, then I'd like to see that. Be, you know, them do something new, you know. Like a little while ago, they had a semi reunion stand-up thing that they did with sketches. It was pretty good. It was enjoyable. I don't know. I wish they had done something together in, you know, their older age before some of them had passed, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, always look on the bright side of life.
John Cleese is
SideQuest.
doing some adverts for glasses
John
in England
Cleese,
at the moment.
John Cleese
Is it
is
pretty good?
phenomenal.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I literally have his book, So Anyway, sitting on my nightstand right now. So like I'm a big John Cleese fan. it's a good read. I highly recommend it, actually. He's like taking a very like it's an autobiography, right? So like he's talking about his own life, but he's just taking the piss out of everyone in his life, including himself. It's great. So we should maybe hop into some news topics, because we are going to well, I guess we should talk about what we've been playing this week, just because we are going to run a little bit over otherwise. And as much as talking about film is great, we should also talk about what we've been playing this week.
Yeah. It's a fact.
So
I like how Captain America as a Nazi was the
Yeah.
whole film discussion.
yeah, I didn't feel the need to change it. That was the right move.
And that was the seed that grew the discussion tree.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah,
That's a great metaphor right there.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well done. Well played. Whitest Kids You Know were the new Monty Python group. I actually don't know this group at all.
They make YouTube vids.
Oh,
Pretty
I
good.
gotcha. See, like, I feel like
I'm trying to think of what their like favorite ones are.
it's more likely, like, I mean, as far as like passing of the torch, it pretty well went to David Mitchell and his comedy duo partner's name, who I can't remember right now. But they did like Peep Show and things like that, and they did like very similar comedy style to the Monty Python crew, but in a little bit of a more like awkward way. Like they did it kind of like it was kind of like a mix between Monty Python and The Office. But oh, they had a TV show. Fair enough then.
Yeah.
I'll have to check them out.
Oh, they did. I think I usually see their stuff on YouTube, but they probably just like take it from the TV show. That makes sense.
That would make sense. Yeah. Okay, so what have we been playing this week? Let's go with Josh. This way.
Hey, I actually started working a new job this week, and so having 40 extra hours and still trying to record stuff meant that I have not really been able to play a bunch of new games this week. I do have one that I didn't really play, but so basically I am getting set up for a new, after my Heart Gold Nuzlocke ends on my channel. Basically, I feel like it was too easy. I'm not through Kanto, but I'm in Kanto now, and I've only lost, like, up to that point, I only lost 3 Pokemon, which is, like, way too few in a Nuzlocke. You're supposed to be losing them, like, constantly to make it fun. And so I am going to be playing through Pokemon White. 5th gen's kind of where I stopped playing Pokemon, and so I'm very unfamiliar with the game, A, which should make it a lot harder. B, I'm working with some friends right now on kind of finalizing a new... It's using the Nuzlocke formula as a basis, but then adding some things to make it harder. I don't really want to like say too much about what it is, but I've been like kind of field testing it to see how difficult it is. In my initial like settings, I couldn't make it to the first gym in like 15 attempts. I died every single time. So I'm doing some like tweaking kind of. So I guess I've kind of been playing that in like a tweaking sense of trying to see what settings will work that I can actually make it out of the first town and not die on Route 1 every time. But that's something that I've been playing a little bit, and that I'm at least excited to start playing again, because I've never really played through the 5th gen games, and so I'm excited to.
Yeah. Sounds like a good plan. Yeti, what have you been playing this week?
Right, I have been playing Doom a fair bit. I haven't finished it yet, but I've been playing that, and it's surprisingly right, considering, okay, when it was first shown at E3 and all that, I was like, yeah, it looks alright, but it's not really my sort of thing. But then it came out, and I've been watching people speedrun it and stuff, and it looks like pretty fun. So I've been checking that out, and it's really enjoyable. I think my main thing with it is just it's been performing like shit randomly for no reason. Like sometimes I'll open it and I'll be able to play perfectly fine, like 1080 solid frame rate and all that, and then sometimes it'll just drop down to about 10 for about half an hour for no reason, and it crashes quite a lot. And it's at the point where I can deal with it to an extent, but I was playing for about half an hour last night, and the frame rate, I was just like, I'm just going to stop playing it. So I'm sort of torn, because as much as I'm enjoying the game as a game of what it is, it's kind of having troubles which are turning me away from it a bit. But I do like it. The multiplayer is fun. That's another thing actually. If you want to play the multiplayer, you open the game and then it loads up and takes like 2 minutes to load up, and then you click multiplayer and it has to close and reopen in multiplayer mode, which is a fun thing.
That's dumb.
But besides that, it's a fun time.
It's kind of how the GTA 5 interface was for a while, and it was real obnoxious. I hate games without main screens. Just put a freaking main screen on your game, and let me pick where I want to go.
Just do a client. Like, straight up, just do a client. It's not that hard. It allows you to actually maintain a similar function within your game as you would be doing on a main screen, and you can boot the version of the game that needs to boot right away without it having to cause inconvenience to people. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't particularly like...
The COD does that.
Either. Yeah. Yeah, like, there are games that do that, and it's a much better system. But, like, it's still not great.
Right.
It's a much better system just in terms of, like, not being not being wrong, I straight up just looked over at chat when Mr. Ginger Ninja came in, and it was very distracting.
Wait, did he hear that one? I thought that was a silent one. That's my bad.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I don't know if I heard it. I thought I heard something, but like, yeah. Anyways, I've been looking at Doom. Doom looks interesting. I don't think I'm gonna be picking it up because, I mean, with what you've said now, with like the frame rate drops and things like that, I can't deal with that. Just on an emotional level, I can't deal with that. Like, like scrap mechanic has been a problem for me lately, where like it's been dropping to 2 FPS, and I'm like, I can't fucking play the game now. And it's like, it's a good game, and I want to be able to build things, and I can't right now because its frame rates are awful. Like, and I know that it's a problem for like very few people for scrap mechanic, but like, I don't know. When frame rates drop to that extent, I actually just want to cry. And it's very
I've been told, well, not personally, but I've been looking around and stuff, and from what I can tell, it's apparently a problem with colorblind assist. Apparently, it crashes more like that. Because the thing is, the game's like super red and orange, and I'm Deutanopic, so I play with a Deutanopic assist on, and that changes like the color scheme completely, so the whole game's different. It's not like saying COD, where if you put colorblind assist on it, all it does is change the color of the enemies on the minimap.
Right.
But this, it changes it completely. So I've been told that's what causes problems, but I sort of feel like I shouldn't have to not do that for the sake of getting good frame rate. Like, if I want to have that on, I should be able to have that on without it fucking everything over.
I mean, they should have optimized that initially.
Yeah.
I mean, like that. I feel like if you're gonna release a game and it's gonna be a full release and you've done a beta period, then you should have that optimized. Like, that shouldn't be something that, because, not to get too like heavy-handed high society about it, but like, that's discrimination against colorblind people to not allow them to be able to play your game when it comes out. And also, Ginger Ninja, I really wish I was able to keep my beard. My beard is gone. I had to shave it. But
for those of you guys who don't know, Ginger Ninja did the prop hunt videos
with you. Yeah.
We're pretty good friends.
You guys are entertaining to watch. So well done on those videos. Also,
we're hoping to record some more soon.
Yeah, on whatever the episode is that you just released yesterday, epised 7,
fixed it.
Whatever. The Ginger Ninja,
7,
you're blind, man. Right there the entire time. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about,
my favorite.
Josh,
you can go watch the video, but it's my favorite is.
Go for it.
My favorite is when I was that newspaper.
Yes.
My favorite was when I was that newspaper, and I was looking at the guy in the other room because he was describing that he was running through a room, and I was like, "Wait, spin around," and that guy didn't spin, so I'm like, "That's weird." And then I like turned and I saw a guy spinning over here. I was like, "He's standing right on top of me and has no clue."
It was great. It was great comedy. I enjoyed watching that. It was very good.
Now we're gonna be playing some more soon, which is exciting.
Oh, that's good, man. We gotta play something together at some point. Because
agreed.
It's
do a summit.
Yeah.
Gamecast.
Yeah, we gotta do that. We gotta find something with like a decent server that will actually allow us to have all of our time zones work out for that, though.
That's true. It's like half the globe we're stretching across here, but we can make it work.
Yeah.
Not Gang Beasts.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, not Gang Beasts is right for the moment. How is that, by the way? Because you got your online multiplayer beta key for that.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm waiting to give opinions on it. I've not really played it because I got it at like 2 o'clock this morning or something my time, and then I was in bed shortly after. And then today I've been recording all day. I threw it on for a video to do. I was thinking of doing like some sort of first impressions thing, and I just was bored before. I just couldn't get in a good working server with people, so I was just like, right, I'm just gonna leave this a little bit and hope that they sort it out. But
I want that game so bad.
Yeah. I'm excited to play it.
Yeah.
Once they fix that.
Now, cause I own Gang Beasts on Steam. Is the multiplayer going to be integrated into the game directly? Because I actually don't know this.
I mean, I assume so. I'm not really sure. I hadn't done like a ton of looking into it. I just got a message on Steam like, "Hey, have this." I was like, "Hey, I'll have this."
I hope it is, because I'm going
No,
to be
it's-
pissed if
it's
I
a
have to
bit-
buy another game. But
Yeah. I mean, is it early access or was it a full release?
it is early access right now. But they're on they're
Right, okay.
getting to the point of full release. Just to throw something out here, SideQuest has challenged us to Rocket League. His crew versus our crew.
Oh, I'll play Rocket League, dude. I freaking stomp testicles at Rocket League. That's a
And
good thing. That's not a bad thing.
And then Ginger Ninja has hopped in and said, "I will curb stomp you all in Rocket League." So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a 6v1 Rocket League. And it's going to be versus Ginger Ninja, since he has claimed he can stomp us all in Rocket League. So
Awesome.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah. So we'll have to make that work.
That'd be a great. That'd
yeah.
be a great match.
Yeah. So we'll get on that. That could be fun. But I do really hope with Gang Beasts that that the online multiplayer is integrated into the main game. I just think they probably didn't want to break the main game while running the beta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you play main game otherwise? Is it
Local.
do you have to have multiple controllers? I'm assuming, or is that the only way?
So
Or is it like
multiple
local
controllers,
client or no?
you can use the keyboard and mouse, so you can
Oh, okay.
make that work, but it's real awkward, and I would highly recommend that you don't. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I had a bunch of friends over actually, maybe about 2 weeks ago, and we were playing Gang Beasts locally. Out on my big TV, we just moved my computer out, and we were playing out there, and it was a good time. We had 4 controllers going, and we were kicking each other's butts.
I can't.
No, I know. It's hard. It's hard to not just burst out laughing when chat happens.
He's like a rhino.
Goddamn unicorns. So
The best is that when all this goes up on YouTube,
no one's gonna have any clue.
chat-
and we're not gonna
No.
give you context.
So they don't even
guys.
know how-
For those of you on YouTube
No.
right now, I'm sorry you're not getting context. This is just staying as is.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch the Twitch VOD and get chat
Yes.
replay.
you can
Yeah,
watch
the
it.
chat
Yeah,
replay
you can
is
chat
there.
replay.
So you can
It's,
definitely do
it's
that.
almost worth it at this point.
Twitch.tv/Summit Podcast. But yeah, no. I think Gang Beast. I've been waiting for my multiplayer beta key. It's gonna be a while, probably, because they've been overloading the
Yeah.
servers. So, but if I did request 4 keys. So we'll see if I do get them, then we'll throw Ginger Ninja on there as well, and we'll get some horrible spaghetti string Gang Beasts happening. It'll be great. I love Gang Beasts. I actually play a lot of it, just on not on my own, but when I have friends over. Or whatever.
Solo.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind being able to do that online, especially once it's stable. Being able to actually record that with you guys, for instance, that would be pretty fun.
Absolutely.
And hopefully their servers, as far as going over to the EU, will be a little bit more stable.
Hold up.
But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Have you been playing anything else this week? Anybody?
Same old, really.
Yeah, that's
For
fair.
me. Siege.
I tried out the Skies this week, which was interesting.
The beta.
Yeah,
Did you get stuck in a fence like I did?
I didn't get stuck in a fence, but I do know exactly where you got stuck in a fence, as I now have gone through the tutorial.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me guess, you tried to jump over the fence? And
I was standing on top of it as I was
As-
shooting the dogs.
yeah,
And then
he
he
built
repaired
you
it.
into the
and I was like,
fence. Yeah.
you built me into that fence, man.
Yeah. That's
He
so
used my
cool.
leg as one of the boards apparently, and I couldn't get out.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah, that was rough.
I don't know. It's I was thinking, like, when I was playing it, I'm like, this is where this happened. This is the moment when Josh got stuck in the fence. And, like, I initially jumped on top of the fence, too, and I'm like, wait a minute. This is not a good idea. And so I jumped down, and then he built it up. I watched it go, like, kunk, in terms of fixing, and I'm like, that's when it happened. Right then.
Everyone is here.
Everyone is here, and everyone is horny, apparently. You're all nuts.
That's a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any diddle fiddling.
Yeah. Calm down, chat.
But yeah.
Well, I guess there's your context.
I did come back in. Yeah. I did come back after I got stuck in the fence, and I came back and played a little bit more of this guys and kind of got to the main. It's cool because there's like that main hub area where you first go to where all the other players are. It's definitely got like I said, a long way to go right now. The like partying up system is kind of weird and doesn't always work. And then like there's people that kind of just spawn infinitely outside the camp because there has to be enough of them that everybody can. It's weird right now. But it's what do you think of it? Okay. My interpretation was it's a very solid foundation, but a long way to go.
The combat frustrates me immensely.
Yeah,
like it feels extremely like slow when you shoot somebody and they just flat out like don't die right away, but like they are dead, like their health bar is gone, and it's like, oh, and then like 2 seconds later they'll just like yeah, and it's like, okay, I get it, like, I mean, but like the combat is a little janky. The questing is not clear at all what's going on. Like,
no,
it's like
I couldn't, when I got to that first town and they were like, you have to do this or I'm not going to give you any clothing, I was like, do what? And there I couldn't like find like a I'm sure there's a menu in there that tells you what to do. Couldn't find like a quest marker on the map, which was a little so, there's no quest markers. It gives you like a big circle of an area. It's like it's in this area somewhere, but you have to figure out where. And I'm like, I guess it's good that doesn't hold your hand quite as much as some games that say like, here's exactly where you need to go. But at times that's kind of necessary.
Yeah, I just felt like, did you run into the caravan that had exploded when you got in there initially? You're distracted by
do what?
Ninja. Did you run into the caravan?
Yeah, they're sticking with.
Yeah,
with the guy that's injured.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, please find me a med kit. I was like, oh, okay, I'll look around for a med kit. No, they want you to run into town and talk to his brother. It's like that is not what you said.
That's why I searched the area for like healing supplies. I was like, I figured there'd be something like in his caravan. Right. So I like checked his crap and I'm like, I'm gonna take it. But there's no med kit. And then I went in town. I was like talking to everybody. He's like, have you seen my brother? And I'm like, oh yeah, he's dead. He's outside. Go scrape up the body if you can.
Yeah. No, it's like it was interesting. Like,
where did this button come from? I just found a button.
Awesome. Hey, the more you have, right? The better. No, but like I think the game is like it has a very long way to go, but it's an interesting foundation because it's an MMO. Like it's not really a survival game so much, it's an MMO. And it's like when I died, I just respawned in camp with all of my stuff and I was like, "Oh, this is where I needed to be anyways. This is fine." Like okay. Yeah. And like
not very punishing.
No, I feel like it's extremely easy, but like extremely convoluted.
Yeah.
So I think like once they make it less convoluted, they're gonna have to make it a lot harder to actually keep audience. You know.
You can do my hair like Jimmy Neutron.
I'm getting rid of this chat. It's gone.
What, you don't like being compared to Jimmy Neutron?
It's just a distraction, man.
Yeah,
I zoned out that conversation so hard. I was just reading chat.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I had longer hair, you don't look like. Wait, how is that suddenly allowed? How is ass not allowed, but the other one is?
Look, I'll be honest with you. My moderation of this chat is very low. It will be better once I actually bother to install Nightbot. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot going for this guys though. I think like it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I will not be touching it again until probably like
Yeah.
another couple of months.
There's more there.
But like
That's where I'm at.
I was gonna do a bare necessities video for it, which for those of you who don't know, I do videos where I just kind of explain like what you need to know going into a game. And I just kind of realized, you know what? I don't want to for this game yet because it's all going to change, you know? And it's like I sincerely hope that if I were like, because if I were to explain the questing in that game, I would have to be like, this is
You need a
complicated
whiteboard.
as shit. Like, you should make sure that you write down what you actually have to do, and like you need to pay very close attention to not what they're saying, but what is said in the corner of your screen, where it says "go to town and talk to his brother," not "go find a med kit."
Yeah.
Because like he's like,
Yeah.
"Please help, find me a med kit." It's like, oh, okay, find you a med kit. Oh no, go to town and find your brother? That's a very different thing. Is your brother named Medkit? The answer is
His brother's
no, by the way.
name is Medkit. Oh, you got it.
His brother's name is not Medkit. It's like Andre or something. Or like it's not. It starts with an A. But like it's not Medkit.
The simple bare necessities.
Yeah, it's
With
the simple
another
bare
Jungle Book
necessities of
reference.
life. Woo. Cuz it's the bare
I'm gonna go watch
necessities.
it.
The simple bare necessities. Sorry, I like the Jungle Book. When I was watching the Jungle Book, all I wanted was Christopher Walken's character to sing the bare necessities. Just would have been so good. Yeah.
But no, as far as I'm interested for like the MMO aspect of Skies, I don't know if they're gonna make it to more of a competitive type of MMO because, like you said, when you die, you just keep all your stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm interested if they're gonna make it like a
There
you
is
die and people can take your
PvP.
stuff, and then add like more combat, or if it's gonna be more of a collaborative kind of effort.
Right.
I don't know though.
It looks like they're trying to build it into
Could have
something
elements
more
of
like
both.
WoW, right? Like it's supposed to be like an MMORPG, but like the thing is, like there is PvP aspects to it. I don't know. I think like the big part of it for me that I'm not sold on yet is basically just the actual what do you do? Like what's the point of the game? Like right now it's like,
Yeah.
oh, go find
Is
your
there a main
brother.
storyline or
Like the main storyline
Yeah.
is go find your brother right now. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. They gave me a pie. I'm going to find my brother. Oh, what is this? Get distracted with a million
I collected
quests.
these berries for you?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
get distracted. Why would
Yeah,
I not
that's what I'm-
just run through and go and find my brother? Like why would I stop and do all these like as far as a logic thing goes? I mean, I read
Yeah.
like a post on Tumblr or something the other day that was like and I don't have Tumblr, by the way. Throw that. But anyways, I read this post and it was like, I feel like I'm at a point in life right now where I should be continuing the main quest, but instead I've decided to. They used faff about and do all these side quests. I'm just like, yeah, that's like why do side quests exist again? Like, why are you not just like?
Hey, he's in the chat. Don't talk about him like that.
Oh, sorry, side quests. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your brethren, the side quests. You guys should really start
fetch me this
an acapella
Piece
group.
of cheese.
You should side quest. You and your side quest should start a barbershop quartet. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Hey, Yeti's back
Side
in
quest
chat.
and a side quest would be a good one.
Yeah, side quest and
I have
side
it open.
quest.
I've just put it to the bottom of the
Where'd you get those dope emojis?
Northern Line.
Roasted, toasted, burnt. Yeah,
What?
nice.
Yeah.
I
But,
want emojis.
Like just from a logic standpoint in the skies, like a lot of the questing doesn't make any sense. Like why would you do any of it? Okay, get a better
Yeah.
gun. Yeah, okay, I guess so, but like honestly, the gun that you get right away is fine. And I put all my points into fist fighting anyways.
Yeah.
So like I was just punching people. And like it was straight up like I put it into strength and luck. And so I was just critting people with my fists. It was great.
Yep.
It was like, all right, I'm good. But like, I don't know. I think it's a game that needs a lot of work, and I don't think going forward I'm going to really be touching it too much, just because like, it's I don't need another MMO. like I used to play WoW, and
Yeah.
I got out, and I'd like to stay out of games like that for the most part.
Yeah.
I played a little bit more Fractured Space actually this week, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. I like it quite a bit. I don't know, what else have I played? Hearthstone. I streamed that on Wednesday. That was fun. Opened a bunch of packs. Got a bunch of Duskboars. Yep, it was great. It was fantastic. Got like
I don't know what that
300.
means. Is that
Like,
good or bad?
It's terrible. You only want 2 of a card because you can only have 2
Oh, I'm
in a
sorry.
deck, and so like I got like
Oh.
a bunch of crafting dust from the packs. I opened like I think like 18, 19 packs, and I got no legendaries. It was very sad for me. So like, I don't know. I like Hearthstone. I really like the Tavern Brawl that's out right now. Which is like you play as a base hero, and then you get to like combine a deck with another hero. So that's pretty cool. That's been interesting. A lot of really cool things going on there that can't happen in the normal game. But like that's about it. Honestly, like my schedule this week has been hectic, so I haven't really been playing that much. I'm looking at picking up the culling soon. I want it to go on sale, and then I want to pick it up.
Yeah,
And then you and I should have a death match, Josh, at some point in the
that
culling.
would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got to do that.
I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm going to soon as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it goes on sale, we'll both pick it up, and then we'll do a death match. And Yeti, you should pick it up too, and join our server so we can pick on you because you'll be lagging like crap. Just no problem.
Why is he stabbing a tree?
Yeah, it's a really awesome game. I really like it. I wish that I had picked it up earlier, but I think I'm going to enjoy that game quite a bit when I actually do pick it up. And I think that would be a fun one to side quest you troll. Sorry. But also, like, I think it's going to be an interesting one to pick up and be able to actually play multiplayer because, like, I don't know. Ginger Ninja, you should pick one up too because you're blind and it would be really easy to just hide from you in the corner. So, yeah.
I'll just transform into a newspaper.
Yeah, exactly. Transform into a tree, and then no problem. Yeah, explosive barrel. But no, I'm excited for a bunch of games that are coming out soon, and so I'll be playing a lot more going forward. I'm so sorry, YouTube. You're not getting any context for this one. Okay,
I
now,
don't mind at all.
being professional, professionalism. We've got to try to be professional. All right.
Dude, just click the X. Just shut it down.
Yeah, no, I gotta.
I'm loving this no chat experience. It's great.
So one of the things that I think we should do at this point is I should do this first of all, but then I should also lead us into our news topics, which we're going to start off with the Payday 2 ditching microtransactions. Did you guys have a chance to take a look at this article?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm just going to change the...
I can leave.
All right, there we go. Chat is minimized for me right now, and I'm really pleased. So, Payday 2 is ditching microtransactions. It was a game that released initially without microtransactions, and they originally were having a staunch position that they weren't going to have any microtransaction. And then they had microtransactions, and everyone was pissed, and a bunch of people left. And now they're like, we're taking back microtransactions like a bunch of months later. So, yeah. I mean, what do you guys think on this? Like, is it too late for Payday 2 to be revived? I don't think so, personally. Like, I'm just going to throw that. I don't think it's ever too late in this era for a game to be revived because patches exist. So, I mean, but yeah, there you go. I was wondering when that was going to happen. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we're
No,
using
it's
a new video chat this week, and we're testing it out, and it's enjoyable. It has emojis for our faces.
it has dope face emojis that you can put on.
Uh,
But no, I'm excited for. I gotta stop reading chat. No, Payday 2 is a dope game, and the fact that they introduced microtransactions, they're saying they were not going to, was not exciting. But I think a game that's that solid and that has that much.
they needed more content. Really.
I don't know if you want to call it replayability. Yeah,
Yeah.
They do need more content. I don't know if you call it's fun, but after you've broken into a certain like the same vault a certain number of times, it gets, But or bank, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could do a lot to add on to it. But yeah, no I'm just not a fan of games with microtransactions in general or anything. I don't like any games that force you to pay to quote unquote unlock the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I did a perspectives video on Wednesday about microtransactions, and I covered quite a few games. I didn't touch Payday because I wanted to talk about it on here, but like Counter-Strike Global Offensive for one thing. In my video, I talk about how I think they are essentially extortion artists here because they are making you pay 3 times. They're making you pay for the game, they're making you pay for the crate, they're making you pay for the key for the crate. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, microtransactions in a paid game is stupid. Microtransactions in a free game,
yeah.
Okay, I understand you need to make money somehow off of your creation. I get it. I'd rather you do microtransactions than ads because I don't have to pay for anything there. Like if it's aesthetic upgrades, 100% okay with that because if I don't want to pay for anything, I don't have to. I will if I really like the game and I want to support it. But you know, like I mean, if it's like, just for example, League of Legends, I played for a really long time. I paid for some skins, you know. Because I wanted to support the game and I enjoyed playing it, but I didn't have to buy anything and I didn't feel like I needed to. I didn't feel like I was getting any major disadvantage for not paying for things. Actually, jumping back to the skies, you get a considerable advantage for paying the $20 to like buy the game. You get a 150% crafting speed boost. You get a like experience boost that's like 150% for your entire time you're playing. It's like it's considerable, and I'm just kind of like it's a one-time payment, so it's like it's a starter version versus a standard version in that case, and it's like they call it their standard versus premium, but it is a starter version versus a premium version, and so it's like, you know, it's kind of okay in that way, whereas if they made you pay for a bunch of little things here and there to get those boosts, I would be a little more annoyed because people would, and it would be like the PvP aspects would just be boring then, you know. And you can also buy money in that game, which I don't like, but you can also trade your coins for money in that game, so it's like I don't know. Whereas like something like Payday, there's no need. There's no need to have microtransactions in that game. Same thing with Counter-Strike. There's absolutely no need. I don't know. What if you want
kind of going off of microtransactions?
Yeah.
In Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Now, any kind of related to microtransactions, but it bothers me whether it's patches or updates for games that are vastly changing to the game that require payment. Those bug me a lot. I think games like GTA 5 have it right to where you pay your $60 for the game. They do let you buy money if you want to, which gives you not really an advantage, but you can buy stuff with it basically, or you can earn it. It speeds things up. So I don't mind that. But then every patch they release, that like all of these patches, it requires that you download them or you can't play online. And so they could be jerks and force you to buy all of them for $2 or $3 each. And then they release an update a month, and you, by the end of it, probably spend another $60. But they give them out for free, which I think is awesome. As opposed to a game like Destiny, which you buy for $60. I played it for forever, got addicted, and then they released Taken King DLC, which essentially says if you don't pay this $40 for this DLC, you cannot play the game anymore because the entire game is based online, and this whole DLC changes everything. It changes all of the weapons, their damage, and if you don't have it, then it doesn't work for you, and you can't play. And so that's when I stopped playing Destiny because I was like, those are the kind of updates, game-changing updates that force you to then basically buy a new game. I get that it adds a lot on, but you don't allow people like me to enjoy the game anymore if I don't want to pay for that.
Well, how do you feel about like World of Warcraft doing its expansions then? Because that's kind of a similar model where they get you to pay for the expansion and then the entire game world changes. You can still play the base game as they see it, but like once Cataclysm hit, for those of you who don't know, with World of Warcraft there was an expansion called Cataclysm where they changed the entire world environment. Everyone had that changed world environment, but you could still play the game. But like the expansions, like there's a whole bunch of new content and most people are like in the new environment. It actually makes it, I liked it more when I didn't have the expansions for WoW because I would just be hanging out in the areas where less people were. And at the time
I was gonna say, can you only play when you play the base game on there? Can you only play with people that also only have the base game?
No, you're playing with everybody. But you're playing
with everybody.
You're playing with everybody. So like it's a different model than Destiny. And I think like that's maybe what Destiny should have done is like allow the game to still function for people who already own the game because they paid $60 for a game. Well, for a license to use a game, right? And then you're now essentially going back on that contract. Like you could probably get your money back if you wanted to like go through a big legal process.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people would join in
I'm
on
lazy,
that,
though.
but like I don't know. I don't think like I think as far as like a business model goes, it was the dumbest thing they could have done. Destiny, that is what they did.
Yeah.
And like DLC is interesting because like it's very different from microtransactions, but like at the same time, it's basically microtransactions. Now we're going to be talking about something a little bit later, but like the Rainbow Six Siege starter pack. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later, but we could actually like bring that in pretty easily here if you wanted to. Especially Yeti, I think you probably have a lot to say about this one compared to us maybe.
Yeah, I have a video coming out on it. Hopefully today. I've not edited it yet though, so
we'll see.
Hopefully today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird one to get your head around. I wanted to know. Okay, you guys go first because I want to know what you guys think on it. Because I was like in the video, I was just throwing my opinions out. So I'm curious to know what you guys think first.
Well, for someone like me who's broke but wants to enjoy Rainbow Six Siege, it looks interesting. Do I think that I will be getting it? No. I think I will wait until I can afford the base game. I think there are some valuable aspects to it for people who are wanting to try it because you can directly upgrade to the full game from the starter pack, right? And so like you don't need to like you don't need to stick with the starter pack forever. So if you pay the $19.99 or whatever it is in your respective currencies, and then and then you pay I guess it's $39.99, like whatever the deficit is, you then get the full game and you unlock everything. And it's like, okay, that's cool. I mean, you still like in the base game you have to unlock characters anyways, right? Like yeah. So like I mean, you're doing the unlocking process anyway. So for people who don't particularly care if they're using the like easiest to use heroes, I say heroes, sorry, I'm just so used to playing games where they're called heroes, but the easiest to use characters, then I think it's a decent option. Like I mean, I don't really want to criticize it too much. I think it's just trying to really just expand its player base, and I think that while it's maybe not the best way to do that. I do think it will expand the player base, and I think that's a really good thing, honestly, because Siege needs more attention. It's a really good game. What's your take on it, Josh?
No, I'd agree. Siege is a game I haven't picked up yet for myself, but it looks really cool, and this starter pack might be. I mean, I don't know. It's different though, because for someone like me, I already know that it's a good game, and I already know that it's a game that I'd like to purchase in full.
Yeah.
And so for me, I don't really think I'd get the starter pack just because I would like to get the full game anyway. So why not just start there? But for someone who maybe is iffy on a game, I kind of like that model of here is a cheap $15 version of the game. It's a lot of the game, just without, like you said, a lot of the characters. You get it randomizes 2 of the base 6 or something like that you unlock. You get 2 random characters to play as, which
and
I think
you get enough coins to buy 2 of your own as well. You get given 2 of the 6 and then enough coins to buy 2 of your own, so you start with 4.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and then it requires like a lot more grinding to unlock the rest or something like that. But I think that's a good way to give people a taste of the game so that they can decide if they want to spend the additional however much to pick up the full game. So I think it's a cool model. But yeah, like you said, for someone like me who's going to get it anyway, hopefully, I don't think I will use the starter pack, but I could definitely see it coming in handy for people.
Yeah, I mean, my take on it is basically it's an appetizer, right? And you're just getting set up for the main course, which is a full game. But I think as far as it being a good option for a lot of people, I think it's a good option for a fair number of people who are wanting to start off. But I think a lot of them will buy the full game after that, because a lot of people will be frustrated with how long the extra time to unlock characters. I get it, because from an economic standpoint, why would you not just buy the starter pack if it took the same amount of time? But also, it's kind of like, that sucks, you know? I don't know. Like, that's the reason for me that I'm like, I don't really want to be taking so much time to be unlocking characters. I mean, for some people that's completely fine, and they can completely live off of that because they're just going to play the crap out of the game once they get the starter edition, and then they'll have basically the full game after that point. So I don't know. I think there is a value proposition to it, but it's just about it's how much time do you want to be putting into something as opposed to how much money do you want to pay for your time, basically. What are your thoughts, Yeti?
Yeah, that's pretty much the road I went down in saying that it's a big saving for if you want to try the game out. But the thing is, you start off with the 4 operators, but then from there on out, it takes 12,500 renown, which is about 10 to 15 hours of play per operator. Whereas in the standard edition, it takes maybe 1 to 2 hours per operator.
Oh,
that's a huge thing.
Jeez.
It's a huge So
that's a big
I sort of went down the line of if you can afford to go for the full game, just go for that. Because the thing is, the recommended route as far as upgrading goes, if you want to get the starter pack, is then to buy $35 worth of R6 credits to just unlock all the operators. But then that's the recommended route. But then at that point, you're paying $20 for the starter pack, and then you're paying another $35 for the credits. So then it's $55 at that point. And it's you may as well just buy the game anyway. So
that does
I think
save
for the most part,
money. For me, the game is $70.
Right.
Right. So I don't know if the currency quite works out to be the same price, but I imagine they've thought of that and have decided to make it the same price. So I would imagine that they wouldn't slip up that big. If they have, great for people who are buying the starter pack then, because they can just buy the coins and save, $7 or whatever. But
I believe in pounds, it's about £2 less to get the starter pack and then upgrade. So if that £2 means that much to you, then
yeah,
that's fine.
Enough.
But
I mean,
I don't know. Because my main thing was I'm okay. Wait, let me check here. 80 something hours in, 81 hours in now.
Damn.
And I've had all of the operators for a while. I cannot imagine being at this point and only having half the operators. There's no way. Because my thing is, you can get there's 4 operators, right, in the starter pack. You can get those 4. You can get one of them just from doing the tutorial missions. You have enough renown then to buy an operator, and then at that point you're looking at like the first few operators like 500 each. So you're looking at like maybe 3-4 hours of play, and then you've already got 4 operators. So it's so I don't think that gap with the earning, I don't think that's enough to warrant paying that much less for me. I think for the whole, you're just much better off paying the full price, because that's a lot of time for one character. But
yeah, I think like for me, I would pay the full amount. Like I'd rather pay like, just the time investment. That's so much time to be putting in. Like I didn't realize that the deficit was that huge. Josh, are you testing the muting yourself button?
Yeah, I got a free emoji from it.
What?
oh really?
There's like an into that if you like use things, it'll give you free emojis, and I got an emoji
I see.
for muting my mic. Yeah, look at that thing.
Yeah, I see. Hold up. I've changed the entire stream.
I
Hold on a second.
opened
All right.
I opened the emoji menu. I can't get rid of it.
All right, I did it.
But you can't get rid of the emoji menu.
I did it. We got emojis, team. We did
I want
it. All right.
Oh no!
Right, I
way.
don't have an account, so I'm gonna make that now.
Oh no! Everything's all funny shapes.
Yep. I fixed it.
Mobile number.
There we go. It's fixed.
All right.
I'll just type in my email with my on-screen keyboard.
All right. So with Rainbow Six Siege, you know, distracting emojis aside, you know, I think like as far as like the starter edition goes, I do think you're right. Like I think the time investment is just too much at that deficit. Like I would have hoped that it would have been like it might have taken like 3 times as much time. So like it would have been like 6 hours to unlock an operator rather than 12. Like 12 is excessive.
That's like roughly. It depends how well you're doing, because if you win a game, you're looking at about 250 to 300 renown, but if you lose, you're looking at about 100. So if you're losing a lot, it's going to take way longer.
Yeah,
It
true.
really depends. That's sort of like roughly where I'd be, though.
Yeah. So I think you're right.
Do
I
I have
think
an
probably
account
the
now?
right move is to buy the full game, or to, you know, save the £2 or whatever it was, to just buy all the coins for it.
Well, in that case, it's a good tester then, because you can play it, and if you like it, you can buy it, and then you're saving a little bit of money if you were going to buy it anyway. But if you don't like it, then you've saved yourself like 20 quid. So
Yeah.
I think in that respect, it's kind of useful then.
Yeah, and I think like that's a reasonable thing. But I mean, like again, I think just for some people that's a really good option, and for other people it's probably not. Like I think for someone like me who would much rather just own a game and like put a little bit of time into getting to the point where I'm completely comfortable, and then a ton of time into playing the full game, just like with whoever I want to play as, and like doing the full thing. Like, and I'm a completionist. That's part of the problem here. Like I would much rather, like for Hearthstone, I'm upset that I don't have access to all of the cards. Not like because it's Blizzard's fault or anything like that, because I want to own the full collection. So it's like for operators it would be the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I that's pretty well all I have to say on the Rainbow Six Siege starter pack. But I don't know. I think like I'll probably buy the full game. This is what I have to say about that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys want to talk about what do you guys want to talk about in terms of on the docket? Like we can go through everything or we can skip some things. I mean, like it's already 10:30, so we got pretty hard into movie talk earlier, so
I do like movies.
Right, ignore my emote here. I just need to close the window.
Oh, all right.
There we go. There's no X button on the window, so if I click the face, I have to do an emote. Otherwise,
Wait, really?
it's just there.
You click the face again.
Oh,
me,
mine,
yeah, I
if
don't know
you
if there's
just click the face
You just
again,
click the
it
face
goes
again.
away.
It blocks the face for me.
Oh, it blocks the face.
Once I click the
really
face, the
funny.
box come up over my face, so I can't click it.
Alright.
It's like you're using an emoji
So
now,
good.
whether you want to or not. No, I don't care what we talk about. I'm prepared for anything.
I'm
I'm
like
like a doomsday prepper.
the Gigabyte Arrow. I don't actually really care about talking about too much. It's an ultrabook for gamers, which I'm gonna just call bullshit on right now. It'll have a dedicated GPU and it'll be fine. That's all that is. I'm gonna link that into the feed if anyone wants to actually take a look at that. They can. Oh, good. I'm not actually on the live broadcasts, so I should do that. Should hop over to the profile.
I'm gonna catch up on chat.
That doesn't pull the chat away. Oh, come on. Go to channel. I'm sorry. This is taking too long. Okay. There you go. I've posted the a link to that article in the channel feed on Twitch. So if you want to check that out, you can. I don't think we're going to spend too much time on it. I'm just going to say it's bullshit. It's an ultrabook for gamers, and it will be mediocre. It'll be mediocre for gaming. It'll be a great ultrabook. That's where that's going to be. The Overwatch cheaters having a hard time. We can talk about that. That could be fun. What do you guys think about that one? Did you take a look at that?
Yeah. I like it. I don't play Overwatch, but Siege has problems with that. Yeah. I would like Siege to have that. I think Blizzard has taken a good road there. I love the article where it's just like this guy buying it over and over again.
Yeah.
And then Overwatch just keeps denying. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, you play like 4 times.
Yeah.
At what point is he gonna just stop buying the game? He must really like Overwatch. But I think Siege needs that as well.
Yeah. I mean, this, like, for those of you who don't know, again, I'm linking this in the channel feed. It's interesting. I am a fan of what they're doing. They are essentially, so for those of you who aren't sure what's going on, they are banning players who have hacked in Overwatch or who are cheating in some way. Yeah. And so they're getting banned, and they're banning like full IPs and things like that. So like it's like they're being very aggressive with it, and I actually really appreciate that.
It's like a life ban.
Yes. Which
the article basically goes into stories of people who cheated on the first day, and then they got banned, and they're like, okay, well I'll just they don't just like ban you, they like you can't play the game, so you can like delete it and then buy it again, and then there's people that went so far as like purge their entire computer of anything Overwatch related and then try to rebuy it, and it still bans them because it knows that you cheated at some point, which I think is kind of cool.
Yep. Eventually,
I think people need a chance at redemption though, at least once.
Yeah.
I back in when I was first using Twitch, I used to, like 3-4 years ago, I used to spam copy pastas from time to time. I'd been banned before, but now, years on, I feel like I'm a good Twitch chat citizen. I don't do that anymore. So I feel like if you get banned for like a month or something, you're probably not going to. I think a lot of people would be turned off that.
Yeah.
From that, like in the article, there's a post. There's like a picture of a Reddit post. I'm trying to get the article now. It's just like someone posted some hack type thing, and then people started using it and were complaining about it. Yeah. I feel like there were a lot of people who just sort of went on and be like, "Oh, Overwatch cheat," and if they got banned for that, a lot of people I think would be like, "Oh, okay, I'll chill. I'll stop doing that." So that's why I think like a timed ban, but not permanent. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, just for a side note here, links are not allowed in chat. If you want to post a link, then don't. But if you are curious,
I think you can post it with.
What?
Can't you like take out the something on that? I can't remember.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, put dot in brackets.
Yeah, there you go. What SideQuest said, but also she sent it to me, so we'll see. What is this? What is it? It may not be related at all.
Right, I'll just quickly address side quest then. On the video thing, I've had no problems uploading them, but I watched the video just delete itself in front of my eyes the other day. I set it as public, and then went over to my channel and hit refresh to see if it had gone up, and it wasn't there. So I went over to my video manager, and it had just gone. So that was good.
That's weird.
I've had trouble with
Yeah.
uploading, but it's just been my upload speed has been immensely slower, and like it's been, I need to change the topic just while I'm thinking about this. We are talking about Overwatch cheaters, but just as a side note, like yeah, it's been slow lately, but not bad. I haven't had any real problems uploading. I had problems uploading the stream I did on Wednesday night, but I just assumed that was because it was large and being a pain in the butt, like usual. Yeah, so what Phasm sent me was the... where did my Twitch chat go? Oh, where did my Twitch chat go? Here it is.
It's fine. You don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think with the Overwatch cheaters, Blizzard also posted the names of the people who cheated, which I thought was an interesting touch.
Oh, really? Like a list of evils?
Yes. Yeah, a list of people that
I
you
really
should
I don't know if
These
that's a
guys.
reference.
shame.
I was trying to think of some sort of reference there, and nothing could come to my name.
Shame.
Nothing could come to my brain.
Shame. Yeah, I just chose the Game of Thrones reference, the obvious one for most recent times, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, they've been like even in the article, what it says is 1,572 players have been named, shamed, and shown the door, which like I think that sums it up pretty well. I don't think we need to talk about this too much more. Like it's just like, good job, Blizzard, well done. I appreciate that because people are shitty.
It's cool. I hate hackers.
Yeah.
And people that are better at me at Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They're all hackers, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't played Call of Duty in many a year.
I used to play Call of Duty a lot. Like back when it was Modern Warfare. Like that year.
Yeah.
I played a lot. Modern Warfare 2 even. Back on Xbox 360. It was good times. It was in college. It was fun. Definitely like the easiest, time waster. But like, I mean,
Yes.
nowadays Call of Duty is like,
Hop on, 3 hours are gone.
yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't enjoy those games anymore though. Oh, so Ubisoft is reportedly working on a film adaptation for The Division. Do we care about this?
Ubisoft is kind of
I
cool.
want to play The Division.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about it?
I want
Yeah,
to
I've
wait
never
and see
played it,
who
so.
is like directing and starring and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll hold off my judgment for now.
I think that's probably something that I can just say, okay, we're good to just say it's potentially happening, and we'll leave it for now. And if
Yeah.
it comes up in the future,
I've never
we'll-
played it, but you know.
Yeah. Okay. How do you guys feel about Watch Dogs 2 being confirmed for E3? Because this is something that I want to talk about a little bit.
I don't own the first Watch Dogs, but I played it at a friend's house, and it's a fun game. And so if they, oh god, that's a loud ad. If they do it well, totally for it. I think it's a cool concept, but I don't know.
I mean,
I haven't played enough of
Yeah.
the first one to have an opinion on the game, so.
okay. What's your take, Yeti?
I don't have much to say about Watch Dogs. I got it like really cheap on Kinguin for about £2.50 or something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having that $2.50 back. I'm going to be real. It was just really big disappointment. I know. Okay, there's some of the stuff like when you can do all the moving cover around and using that to your advantage and all that. But the first 2 hours, I couldn't stick through that to get to the good bit. It was just so boring for me, at least, and it was not performing very well. And it had this weird motion blur thing I couldn't turn off, which made me motion sick a bit. I just had problems with it. I'm going to be real. My favorite thing was just walking around scanning random people and looking at their jobs.
Yeah, I played that game extensively, and I would say it was probably the worst GTA clone that I've ever played. And like it did feel like a GTA clone other than the scanning aspects, and it's like the scanning aspects were not very good. Like even when you get to the good bit of the game, like the quote-unquote good bit of the game, it's not a very good game. So they would have to remedy a ton for me to be even remotely interested in Watch Dogs 2. And so like this E3, whatever they released for the trailer and stuff like that, if it's good, okay, I'll probably play it. But will I play it happily? No. I'm gonna be extremely critical of it. And then also like the whole thing, like when they were initially releasing Watch Dogs, they were like, it's like a stealth-based technology game. I'm like, oh, Deus Ex, basically, right? Like, cool. I've wanted to like see like a good different version of Deus Ex. Instead, it's just like it's Grand Theft Auto, but like worse by a significant margin. And it's like, okay, that's boring.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like they put way too much like effort into trying to make this sort of hacking stuff work that the rest of it just got a bit like neglected a little bit. It was a little boring for me.
Well, hopefully then if like that was their issue, they've already got that stuff figured out from the first one. I mean, arguably they don't, but like they at least have a really good base. So if they've been working on it, like I said, Watch Dogs came out in what, 2013, 2014? Like, it's not a new game.
Sounds right.
But, like, I mean, they've had time to figure that stuff out. So, hopefully it'll be a better game. But honestly, like, my hopes are not high for it. Yeah, exactly, side quest. I'll play this game, but I won't fucking like it. That's exactly where I'm at with Watch Dogs 2. I mean, that's my life a little bit in a nutshell lately, actually, with games that I've been checking out. I mean, like, I played Fractured Space, and that was awesome. And then I played Paragon, and I'm like, this is not very good. It's like, it's okay. It's like, it's good. It's just, it's not my style. And then, like, I was checking out some other games over the last little while, and I'm not going to name names for those ones because I haven't done videos on them. But they were not very good. So I don't know. But, like, as far as Watch Dogs go, are you guys familiar with Sleeping Dogs?
I think I've heard of it.
It's another GTA clone, but like it's got
I'm
like
familiar-ish with True
Okay.
Crime.
it's
Is it the one with like martial arts and
yeah,
stuff?
it's a GTA clone with martial arts fighting.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, and it's a much better game than Watch Dogs ever was, and it's like, but it's still a GTA clone. I don't know. Not very interesting to me, like it's not going to be something that I'm excited for. And like Watch Dogs 2, like for those of you who liked Watch Dogs, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. You're getting a sequel. For me, I don't care at all about it. And that's just where I'm at. That's like we ran through those topics actually like really quickly. Because like the only thing that we need to talk about now briefly is that you can watch the Bethesda part of the E3 the E3 show, which will be at the link I just posted in the channel feed. Yeah. That's really all we needed to talk about news-wise. I don't know, like, Bethesda, though, they're going to have some announcements coming up at E3, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I know you're excited, Yeti. You've been talking a lot about it on your channel.
I'm quite excited.
Yeah?
I have, yeah.
Like, you've been doing location videos for, like, where you think Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be, right?
Yes, I've done one so far. Second one coming at some point.
Yeah.
soon, hopefully.
Where do you think it's going to be? Like, I know that you're doing a video basically for all of the potential locations, but where do you actually think it will be?
Yeah. I am gonna say I did Elsewhere as the video I've done already.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say either Elsewhere or Valenwood, or maybe both. And that's because that seems very reasonable, and it also seems like what a lot of people seem to want as well. So that's what I'm hoping for, at least, and that's what I'd predict as well. If I was gonna say one, well, I said two, but that'd be my guess anyway.
Yeah. I mean, hypothetically, if they only did one of those two, which would you prefer?
Elsewhere,
That's fair. And then,
which is probably why I covered it first, I think.
yeah, that's reasonable. I mean, so for those of you who are familiar with the Elder Scrolls games but aren't familiar with Elsewhere, Elsewhere is where the Khajiit are from. So, lots of cat people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a Khajiit my first
Split
time
up
in
into-
Skyrim.
Yeah, the Khajiit are fun to play.
She's pretty
They're
cool.
just dope. They're just dope.
They do extra hand-to-hand damage,
Yeah.
which is, if you're into that.
Yeah,
That's
same with
good.
Argonians too. They all
Yeah,
have
I
those
like
set of
Khajiit.
claws.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in checking out Yeti's video on the location potential of Elsewhere, you can do that. It's on his channel.
It's doing real well.
Yeah, it's a good video. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's doing really well.
I threw
Yes.
it up on my Twitter actually not that long ago because I watched it and it was I enjoyed it enough that I thought other people might want to check it out as well. I think like for this game, for this Elder Scrolls game, they need to revamp their UI, like big time. But I mean, other than that, the graphics should be updated and everything like that. It should be a very pretty game, and I'm interested in seeing like because I think we're all expecting it to be an Elder Scrolls game at this point that they're going to announce because the last one was in 2011, right? But like.
The UI is a weird one because that's a lot of people complain about the UI. I actually don't mind it. I don't know. I know a lot of people saying because it's made to work efficiently on console, right?
Yeah.
But I have Sky UI at the moment installed because that's the one that people seem to be like a go-to for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really. I'm fine with it. I just see a lot of people complaining about it.
Sky
but
UI is okay. I use Sky UI. I've used some other UIs, and other ones have been better. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but like Sky UI is just the one that's most commonly used because it's the easiest jump from the Skyrim original UI to something that's a little bit more manageable. The UI that I have issues with is mostly the inventory system. It's not organized well enough. But I would argue that it's not organized any better in Sky UI. I think it's probably a little bit more cluttered feeling in Sky UI, but there's I don't know. There are a bunch of mods that can do what you need it to do, and it's all to preference, right? But I'd like to at least have the option to make the UI a little bit better. Mostly just the inventory system. The rest of the UI I'm completely okay with. It's just the inventory system that bothers me. Do you have some thoughts on this, Josh?
None too many, actually, unfortunately. I haven't done too much with it.
That's fair.
But I am definitely looking forward to hearing what they have to say. Talking about Bethesda still, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, anything Bethesda does, I'm pretty much going to be a fan of, so.
Yeah,
just Dishonored 2, man.
Oh, Dishonored 2 is going to be...
I'm making sure I'm going to be there just in case they even mention it.
I still haven't played this. I haven't played the first Dishonored, so I'm a little behind.
That's sacrilege, actually. I think.
I have a free copy of it on my Xbox One that they gave away for a Games with Gold or whatever. I still haven't touched it. I don't know why. I need to play it.
Dishonored is one of my favorite games of all
Don't
time.
know what to say to you.
Straight up.
Yeah,
Dishonored,
it's all right.
It's ton of fun. Just in terms of it being a creative new thing and them actually trying to change the way that gaming is done. I really appreciated the fact that it was far more creative than like, I don't know, just like a Thief clone, you know?
Anything to ever grace this planet. Yeah, but Thief, that's what's good about it. They turned it back because Thief was always there, and then Dishonored took that and mixed it all up and made it better. And then Thief tried to copy Dishonored and failed. So
Yes.
is killing it.
Yeah. Like I find that funny because like Thief is like the original stealth game. Like I mean it's not maybe I mean Metal Gear Solid was like around the same time, but like you know, as far as like for me, Thief was the original stealth game, and I played the shit out of that, and then I played a bunch of Deus Ex, and then I played a bunch of Metal Gear Solid, and like I really like stealth games, and then the Dishonored came out, and like I immediately pre-ordered, and I don't pre-order games, I just don't, I don't like to, even this early access stuff, it bothers me, like I don't like buying an incomplete product, so like the fact that I just immediately bought it, I was just like, I regretted it immediately, and then once it came out, I'm like, oh, I don't regret my decision at all. It was so good. I mean, it's a very like linear game, and like there's not a lot to it, but like I just had a ton of fun playing it, and there's so many different ways, like because you can replay levels and things like that, and it's like you can just do them in so many different ways and so many clever ways, and it's like I like that. I really like that aspect of it. So I don't know. But I think, like, if I had to guess...
Yeah, that was something which sold quite well initially. Because right off the bat, forgetting about, okay, you look at, like, Dunwall and stuff, there's going through the mission, there's different ways you can go around the city and all that. Yeah. But right off the bat, you've got kill things, kill everything, don't kill everything. You can be stealthy, that's probably, like, the most commonly way to play it. But you can just go through and murder stuff if you want. Yep, there's tools for that as well. There's the Spring Razor and all that. Mm-hmm. Yep, it is. So,
well, I mean, there's even like basically a force choke, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's Wind Blast.
Yes, but there's also like you can go into a guard's body and walk him into the water, or like and just like drown him. It's great. There's like a lot of different ways that you can just kill people in that game. And that's a ton of fun. And like you can just drop things on people from far away and things. It's fun. It's a fun game. I don't know. I honestly though, at one point I just played with the gun and the sword. And like I just would murder people with my fists basically. That was a fun game. It's like I don't know. I think if I had to guess, Bethesda would be putting out Dishonored 2 and an Elder Scrolls game, and they may potentially announce that they're going to be doing something with Fallout, but with Fallout 4 being just this past year, I almost don't think that they will. Yeah. I think they'll do that next year.
I've heard they've teased, like people have heard them have mention of Fallout, but if anything, it'll just be some sort of add-on to Fallout 4. There's no way they're in. And maybe they're in the process of thinking of a new Fallout game, but I don't think we're anywhere close to seeing one.
No, I think like they'll probably.
There's a letter floating about.
Sorry, pardon.
There's a letter floating about at the moment from like 2014, before Fallout 4 was announced. There was a letter to the Bethesda employees, and that's been floating about. And there was like a list of terms which is like, yo, don't talk about these. And one of them is Fallout 4, and then underneath that, as part of DLC, was Fallout 4 Nuka World. And that's just surface, and there's like a bunch of things in its favor as to why it's real or something. So that's a thing that's happening now, rumor wise at least. Nuka World.
I hadn't heard that yet. Nuka World. That's going to be an interesting one. Nuka
World.
I wonder what that.
It's like some sort of theme park.
Oh, that would be great if it was a theme park.
An apocalyptic roller coaster theme park type of thing. Because it sounds like it'd be some sort of like Nuka-Cola based theme park or something. But I don't know. They
have the Nuka-Cola plant.
It's a weird thing to base your. Yeah.
So like I mean, it's a like we know.
I feel like a beverage would be a weird thing to base your theme park on.
I mean, Coca-Cola has stadiums and things like that, right? Like I mean.
That's true.
It's just like a company branding it because they're sponsoring
6 Flags discount.
Hmm. Yeah.
They have a discount at Six Flags. They were talking about on the analysis the other day, and I looked it up, and it's a real thing. You get like $15 off if you bring
That's nuts.
a bottle of Coke to the park with you. It's pretty good.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, theme parks are weird. I used to go to Disneyland like all the time as far as like a holiday would go, and like it was a good time. I enjoyed Disneyland, but like it's like specifically a Disney theme park that is like very much marketing, but also the food there is great. So it's expensive. It's all hell.
You go to the one in California?
Yeah, in California, yeah. Disney World, I haven't ever been to, but
I've never been there either in Florida. I've never been there, but I went to Disneyland we took a trip there, I think my senior year in high school, so I was really old the first time I went, but it was still pretty cool.
it's an interesting place. Like I went.
I don't really
when was
like
a kid.
Disneyland.
What was that, Yeti? Sorry, you.
Disney is whichever one. Magic Kingdom, that's the one in Orlando, is like a living nightmare for me. It's so crowded. It's
It is.
full of kids as well, so you're constantly on like trip hazard watch. It's a nightmare,
Yeah, I have that problem.
in my opinion.
I'm 6'2", so like I'm not a short person, and children come up to my knees, and basically like it is a hazard for me because I will knee them in the head without realizing it. So like yeah, but when I was a lot younger, I went to Disneyland initially, and I didn't enjoy it that much because I was like it was fine, but I never really liked crowds either, and I still don't. But now that I'm a little older, I've been a couple times like in the last, I guess in the last 10 years. So like since I was 15 to about the time I was 20, I went I think 3 times. Most of the time I just spent like my time eating there and enjoying the food, and then going into like California Adventure, which is like pretty crowded, but it's not like people don't always buy the park hopper pass. Like a lot of people just stick with Disneyland, and so like California Adventure is a little bit more chill. It's still busy, it's still a theme park, but like it's a little bit better. Side quest. I do not do it on purpose. Also though,
It's accidental child abuse.
yeah, that's awful. No, but like,
Yeah,
I don't
a
know.
kid runs into your knee and you go to blame. What's up with that? Society's backwards. Kid came into my knee.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Like, Star Wars Land is coming to California, and I will be there when I can. It's gonna be expensive, but I just want to spend time in a cantina
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, watch the stormtroopers take out the drunkards. It's gonna be fun. And just periodically droids will come in, and inevitably the barkeep will say, "No droids," and we can all be like, "Oh hey, it's from the movie. We know that thing. It's awesome."
Do you think they'll have a cantina band?
If they don't, it would be a disservice. So yes, they will.
Sure.
Does anyone have any requests? What's that? Play that song again. Oh, okay.
We only know one.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, if you guys want it. Yeah, no, I love Star Wars music too. Like just the cantinas. Like even in The Force Awakens, in Maz's castle. Sorry, spoiler alerts by the way for The Force Awakens. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. Yeah, like, the cantina song that's played in Maz's castle is great. Like it's not quite the but like it's pretty good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, I just mentioned it in chat. Yeah, we went to Board Game Cafe called Stormcrow yesterday. It's a bar / board game place, and they had a Rancor head on the wall, and they had Han Solo frozen in carbonite hung up beside it, and they had a bunch of other Star Wars stuff as well. It was pretty awesome. They also had like a replica Knight's helmet sitting on the table that we were sitting at, and it smelled rank as hell. So yeah, it's a pretty cool place. I don't know. I mean, we kind of got really off topic there at the end, but we should probably close up the stream. So let me quickly type outro here. All right. So why don't you guys take a moment to pimp your channels? So we'll start off with Yeti this week since he decided to take a drink right now.
Exactly, that's us.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Yeah. The same as I said at the start. Same links: YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.com/t. You know what it is. /YetiHype. You get the point. Twitch.tv. Yes, and then YouTube and Twitter /YetiHype. You could just Google YetiHype. You find me. Yeah, there's actually stuff happening on the channel now, not just Let's Plays. As we touched upon briefly earlier, I've got my Elder Scrolls 6 location discussion series. Words are hard, and I covered elsewhere like Tuesday this week, and more will be coming soon. So you can check out that one. It took quite a while to put together, so that's a good one to check out. And I'll have a video coming out today or tomorrow talking about the Siege starter pack as well, which is another topic we spoke about. So I'll got more info on that as well. But besides that, I'm working my way through Salt and Sanctuary at the minute, and Gods will be watching, trying to get those finished off because I have way too many Let's Plays going on at the minute. So I'm working through those. And then lastly, Twitch as well. I'm hopefully going to be streaming on that. I'm definitely not doing any schedule because I know I won't stick to it. I have a YouTube schedule which I don't stick to, so there's no point in having a Twitch schedule. But I'm going to be streaming. I plan on playing Morrowind on that over summer, which is still like a month and a half away.
I will be watching that.
But that's hopefully going to happen. Yeah, I think I'll be streaming that and then putting it over on YouTube as well. Is the plan. But for now, it's like Siege and Doom pretty much stream wise. But yeah, that's me. Hi. And also bye.
Yeah, you can check me out over at youtube.com/PlaycrastiNation. A lot of changes, like I said last week, happening on the channel right now. We're finishing up our Gold Nuzlocke, and I'm going to be interested in the new one after that, which I think is going to be ridiculously fun. Also trying to get Dark Souls on the channel. Currently, capture card is being annoying. I've recorded episode 1 like 7 times, and every single time the audio is just jacked. So I'm trying to fix that right now and figure out what's wrong with it. It makes me sound like I'm like a Star Wars character. I don't know which one, but the one's like, I don't really know which alien species that is, but I sound like that every time, and I don't think people want to listen to that. So, but Dark Souls will be coming in addition to the continuation of things like Isaac and random indie games from time to time.
Cool. All right. I am Winterbear. You can find me on youtube.com/WinterbearGames and twitch.tv/WinterbearGames. I do occasional Let's Plays, and I've been doing a lot more discussion-type videos and explainer-type videos. Mentioned earlier the Bare Necessities videos, which are essentially the everything you need to know before you start a game series, and that's a fun one, so check it out. I also do a Bear Perspective, which is a perspective piece, so it's just an opinion. And then I do top 5 videos and Let's Plays. So, yeah, and then I do this as well, which we all do, which is why we're here. So,
Sure. You
can check out the VOD for this Twitch stream on YouTube at any of our channels. It'll be up tomorrow for us. And you can always check it out at twitch.tv/summitpodcast. So, for now, I'd like to say thank you, everyone, for watching the show. And thank you to my hosts here for joining us. And we will see you guys next week at the same bat time, same bat channel. Goodbye.